in if you want.
Just do it. Just let me know when you're done.
I just started. This is Alvin,
I'm Parapants.
and we just watched 100, episode 1, and this will be the last episode of 100 we watch, because that shit was garbage. Quick synopsis. Fucking the dude with the best SAT scores in the world lands on a ship, and he joins some army where they train super students to fight monsters. And as soon as he gets there, the head chick, who's like, fucking the queen. I hate how they call her the queen, and she tries to expel some students, and he's like, "Fuck you, bitch," and she's like, "Fuck me, fuck you," and then's like, "Hey, why don't you guys fight?" And she's like, "All right, we'll fight." And then in the meantime, there's this other character who's close to the main character, who I guess is trying to pass as a guy, but is 100% obviously a fucking girl, like totally fucking Gandalf on the bridge. You shall not fucking pass. Lazy ass shit. And then there's some hijinks that you've seen a million times fucking before. And then right before the actual fight, they're like, "Tune in next week, assholes," and then it's over. Yeah, I got a few points I want to bring up, but I just want to say overall that this was horrible.
The scene you brought up in the student assembly when the student body president, the queen, Claire Harvey, tries to expel the two students, and you say, like, the main character goes, "Hey, fuck you," and she goes, "No, fuck you back, let's duel it out." I wish it had gone down that way, because that would have been interesting. But no, it was just kind of this drawn out. For one thing, the main character is so limp. Like, there is really nothing stand out about his character. I wish, because you remember in Shokugeki no Soma,
Yeah.
when Soma, the main character, walks in front of the entire class, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be number one over all you motherfuckers." And that just pissed off a lot of people. Now, that was ballsy. That was interesting. But
yeah, but Shokugeki no Soma wasn't a harem, and in a harem, your main character is always this bland slice of white bread with like a light coat of mayo on it, left out in the sun. And
yeah.
So yeah, that was a good show. This is not a good show.
Yeah, and yeah, that was one of my main problems with this character. It's a harem. It's got every chick of every flavor, and if you're into that, then great.
Does it? It's got the Hakase character. It's got the big titty nurse.
The Opie nurse.
It's got the fucking
glasses girl.
Who's the glasses girl?
The laboratory, the scientist chick.
That's what I said. The Hakase.
Oh,
all right, fine.
Oh, is that what that is?
Well, no, that's fine. But you got fucking girl in a cat costume.
You got the bitchy ice queen.
Yeah, it's just. I don't know why they never get tired of that shit. I mean, I don't know.
And it's got the sick sister.
Oh yeah. Well, that's on the list of things I want to bring up. Let me see. I'm just going through my list. There was a weird scene in the beginning where this chick is being held by a monster that's literally 500 feet tall, and it's holding her up in the air, and then it gets blasted, and immediately in the next shot she is on the ground in the main character's arms, and it's like. I think they must have missed a shot.
Yeah, the cut of that first opening shot, and like I want to point out too that your first few minutes of an anime really should try to draw in the character with something interesting, and I get it. Like these kids, they're in this academy to fight this threat, but if you want me to get hype about their suits and their weapons and their battles, I need to feel that they're up against something that's really like fucking, oh my god, how are they gonna fight these dudes? And like when you have like generic light laser monster, I mean, I was not. I mean, I didn't feel like anything was really at stake. I mean, like the first part is like a dream. So
yeah, well, we've run into a couple episodes like that where they start with 30 seconds of disaster, where it's like, oh my god, it's so horrible, and then they're like, later on, and then it's just, oh, I'm going to school. I'll be running with a piece of toast in my mouth. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you get your catalog of characters and like, oh look, they're so wacky, and sometimes I really wish they would just cut to the chase and get to the action. I mean, that's what I thought was going to happen with Gate. Remember Gate,
yeah, I
where
remember Gate.
like this hole comes in and all these dudes just kind of come in and wreck everybody's shit.
There. You know what? You can't fault Gate for not have. I mean, it did have a decent amount of action, and I think it was
It
well
did.
done. I just didn't. I bailed on that before it became a harem because I'm like, I don't even
Was
want
it
to.
harem?
I don't know. Well, they were like foreshadowing like, hey, it would be weird if there were like lolly witches and elves in this world, and like sure enough, the preview was like, next time introducing the lolly witch and the elf, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to see
Oh, well,
that.
there were several problems I had with Gate that stopped me from watching it, but I, in the beginning I thought, well, this is really cool. We're just getting to the chase here, and you see like, and I thought it was like going to be about monsters from another dimension coming to wreck everybody's shit, and
They
that
did
was
wreck a little bit of shit. Come on,
yeah, but then it turned into the Japanese army goes and it was totally overpowered and just
no,
goes
that was the
in.
point. I think it was trying to make a point that like, yeah, they really wouldn't have a chance against modern military. I think that was a conscious decision. And it's just, I think it was.
It was just kind of well, that's just kind of boring. I'm like, okay,
No,
I get it.
I like a battle between like medieval shit and modern shit, but I think the stuff in between, like the main character and the other characters banter about how much they love anime and otaku culture was just it just bored me. But this isn't about Gate.
No, this isn't
So,
about Gate.
all right, when that monster in the beginning shot his laser and fucking missed, I was like, come on. I mean, I know it's got to miss.
It was a really tiny hitbox. So.
Yeah, I mean, all right, maybe those kids are like really small and like I didn't see any eyes on that thing, so maybe it aims with by a sense of smell. I, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, the virtual island on a ship academy thing is just amazing. I don't. You know what it is? It's you watch an anime that has elements in it like that, and the anime turns out bad, and then you see it in another anime, and you just have that bad association. Like
Yeah.
the last time I remember seeing that was Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere, which I couldn't stand because it made no fucking sense. And from that point on, I mean, you'd have to make a really good show with a fucking Academy Island ship in it for me to turn myself around on that.
Yeah.
But
I get it, anime has taught me that Japanese people wish they had gone to magical high tech schools in impossible places.
why did they put that on a? Why do you think they put that on a boat? Why did it have to be on a boat?
Because I would assume that the enemy is in the water and they have to like go to battle and kill it, maybe?
I don't think it's in the water. The opening scene,
Well,
they're
I
in.
mean, Japan also had like, or does, as a pretty big navy, so maybe that's just, something they,
Why did they put a city on a boat? Why couldn't they put the city on land?
because they gotta move around.
I don't know. I just
I don't know. It's just,
it just seems like if you've got this existential threat, like this threat to your existence, the existence of your people, uh, making an academy city boat doesn't really seem like the next step. I
but
don't.
it's so cool.
No, I don't. I
Next,
guess.
they're gonna have we gotta come up with interesting places to put a high tech fantasy high school, like on a floating island.
Eh,
There's one
sure.
on a flying car.
Well, before that, look, I'm not trying to be the guy who's like, oh, 15 things about Back to the Future that don't make sense. Like, I hate that shit. I'm not trying to look for logical inconsistencies. It's just, I just, I would like a reason why there's a city boat. I mean, just throw me
Well, I
something.
mean, like it's only the first episode. Maybe they go into that later.
Yeah, well, that's
I
not
have a
one.
feeling that they won't, but
All right, let me
or
go.
at least not to our satisfaction. But
Let me go through my list here. It reminded me a lot of Muv-Luv Alternative,
oh,
which was horrible, but for some reason I watched the whole thing.
why?
Oh,
'Cause
you know
of
why?
boobs?
No, not because of boobs, although those helped. Oh, you know why? Muv-Luv had this thing. It had a very unique style of shading on the boobs, where
Oh God.
when they got in their battle suits, it looked like wet satin wrapped around the titties, and that was pretty good. But also,
Oh.
the only reason I kept watching it is because the intro song was amazing, and And every time I watch the show, I'm like, I'm only watching this because of this song. I turn on the song and be like, yeah, this is. I listen to that song every time. And
Were the battles any good?
no, they were bad.
No.
And the plot was bad, and it was dumb harem, and the animation got bad.
like wet effects on boobs.
I'll show them to you later. You'll come around. Let's
I'm
see.
good, thanks.
Parapants was commenting on the Queen's garter belts. Apparently, being the Queen means you get to have the uniform with garter belts in it.
I don't get that. I also don't get. I don't get how in anime you have a student body. Just how much power does a student body president have in your typical Japanese high school? Because they can kick other students out of school. How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know how Japanese school works, but yeah, I know our student body president didn't kick anybody
If
out.
we had that ability in my school, oh my God, I would have run for president every year.
And we didn't notice this is a school, but I didn't see any classes or teachers for that matter,
Well,
or adults.
I thought it was an academy, and that's what he.
I thought an academy was a school.
Okay, well, they had a class assembly. They had like an opening ceremony,
I didn't see a single adult.
and it was a. You're right. Okay, you're right. There were no teachers. There were no classrooms. It was just meet me on the battlefield.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this up. Parapants said I was. I don't know if I'll. How to say this? Like, all right. So like the gray-haired character is obviously a chick pretending to be a dude, and I don't know how many characters are in on it, but like, I know they do this a lot of times where they use chicks for dude voices. I get that, but in this case, the chick doing the voice for the gray-haired character was using such a chick voice. It was like,
Or using her natural voice, or
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was like,
yeah, I don't. And granted, this is only the first episode, but even from the beginning, I don't understand the point of this character posing as a boy when they're obviously a girl. When they look like a girl, it looks like a girl. It sounds like a girl, and they even make hints to Emil acting like a girl. What's the point of doing all that just to, hint around that, oh, this isn't really a boy, this is a girl? I mean, like, couldn't the manga? I'm assuming this is based on a manga
based on a light novel, I think.
or a light novel. Okay, so there was a decision there to make the girl posing as a boy still look like a girl. I don't get that.
That I don't know. That could have been the animation people. But I mean, because we were confused because when the thing first started and we first saw this character, we're like, that's a girl.
That's a girl.
And then like the one character's like, oh, it's almost like you two. It's almost like they had to stick that in there. It's like, oh, it's almost like you two weren't guys with penises and balls. Because otherwise, I would have gone the whole episode thinking that was a girl. And that being said, the whole deal where he goes to his room and the Emil character like kicks him out, and I mean, if that was really if you really thought that was a dude and you go to your room and he like kicks you out, you'd go in there and be like, what the fuck, dude? You'd fuck him up. I mean, you'd at least yell at him and be like, what the fuck is your problem? This is my room. But that doesn't happen. I don't know, maybe.
And another thing, like, does Emil look like a boy to everyone else? I'm so freaking confused over this character. It's like, I don't know, I don't want to go there, but like, how can the main character not look at Emil and think, oh, this is a girl?
No tits. Everyone else who's a girl in this has giant
boobs.
tits.
Oh, so that's the only distinguishing factor is boobs.
Yeah. And usually I'm all on board for tits, but it's not enough this time. It's just not. I mean, I appreciate the nurse. That was pretty good, but for me, they'd all like the nurse was like minimum size, and I don't think she's going to be that major.
How big would the average boob have to be on this show for you to continue watching it?
All I can say is bigger. I can't give you an actual number or thing.
Like big enough to like hide their faces?
I don't know. I just have to. You know what? When I see it, I'll tell you. Another thing I want to bring up: the main character's 100 or battle weapon looked like dog shit.
You know what? It looked better than the main character sword in End Ride, I thought.
Yeah, oh, of course, yeah, alright, it looked better than the fucking Barbie She-Ra sword in Enride, or Endride, I don't know. But, yeah, man, I mean, like, they go through this whole montage, it's like, oh, your 100 is the thing that you battle shit with. Check this one out, it shoots lasers like a motherfucker. And then he's like, alright, I'm the main character, I'm a badass, here's mine. And it's like, he's got a mini fridge on his shoulder, and just, like, a fucking sword with hexagons on it.
I thought he had a leaf blower.
It does look like a leaf blower. But I'm a little I mean, I know he'll probably have some power up and it'll change, but I don't know. I wasn't too thrilled about that. We're talking a lot about a show that we're never gonna watch again.
Yeah. It's easy to talk about shows that are bad and why we think they're bad, but the shows that are good, we're like, yeah, we're gonna keep watching this.
Yeah.
This is not one of those shows.
All right. Another thing, Parapants. I'll get to my favorite part after this. You did not agree with me on is I think the gray-haired character has 2 sets of bangs, and that's retarded. It's regular bangs over the forehead, and then when you go to the top of the head, there's the bangs that somehow first they go up, and then they're like, oh shit, and then they go right back down again. And I just think that's over. I know, like, on some poses it's supposed to be like cat ears, but it's just
It's not even cat ears. We've seen that. We've seen hair design like that.
I don't think because usually you have those bangs and that they come up from the forehead like that.
Yeah, I know, but I've seen it before.
Yeah, I think it's retarded.
Yeah, I mean, I can point to you real life cases where what that's trying to look like, but yeah, it didn't bother me. I don't know how Alvin guessed that those are 2 sets of bangs.
You know I'm right. That's it. Anything else you want to say about this show? Favorite part was the nurse's titties.
Wow.
How they just kind of came in the shot and they're like, I'm here to rescue this fucking boring anime.
So now we know who this anime is aimed at. My favorite part is the battle jazz music.
Oh yeah, battle jazz. I forgot.
Battle jazz. I'm always down for battle jazz. Ever since I saw that in which Gundam was that? That one guy?
Thunderbolt?
Yeah, I thought that, you know what? That's pretty badass. I like that. So.
Yeah, this is no Gundam Thunderbolt.
It's not Thunderbolt.
You didn't even really get a battle. You just got a couple training shots, and then they're like later that day.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing too. It's a whole bunch of exposition, and which I cannot freaking stand. I can't stand all the exposition that goes on in some anime.
It's a lot cheaper than animating it.
I guess so. Well, I mean, it's obvious, but there was just a lot of exposition where it could have gone into showing me some really cool fights, but the short little, fight I got came with some pretty neat battle jazz. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. 100, episode 1.
Going down.
One less show we have to watch. Thank God.
But I do have a 2-episode policy. So
I don't have a 2-episode policy.
I know you don't, but I'm going to give 100 one more episode.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Don't lie to the people.
No. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick with that. 2 episodes.
Well, fuck that. All right. Well, we're done.